We have been talking about this breaking news all week. Teachers arrested on suspicion of sexually abusing their students. The count right now up to 2 arrested. A third under investigation by the LAUSD, or somebody else is being talked to. I don't know if they're under investigation. Our legal expert, Robin Sachs, has been talking over and over about how we should talk to our kids and protect them from predators, but now we want to bring it down to what exactly we should say. So joining me now is parenting expert Betsy Brown Braun, author in child development and behavioral specialist, and author of the books You're Not the Boss of Me, and the one I love the title of, Just Tell Me What to Say. Betsy Brown Braun, thank you very much for being here. I want to start with something that you didn't feel very comfortable about when you heard me teasing it, which is, now that you know about Miramonte parents, what should you tell your kids? You say,
well, I think you should have been talking to your kids about this since they were 2 years old.
Anyway.
And we start with very basic safety lessons that are family safety rules, like if you see something that's different or strange or makes you feel uncomfortable or that's just off, you need to say something. If you see something, you say something. If somebody ever tells you don't tell, or this is just between us, know that don't tell means tell. We need to teach our kids to pay attention to how they're feeling and what their intuitions, what their instincts are.
So just because as a dad, I may be seeing these reports and get way more scared than I ever have been about what a teacher could do, that shouldn't cause me to escalate the conversation with my child.
Absolutely, because it should have been going on. No, it shouldn't escalate. However, there will be kids who are going to hear this. Televisions are on, and everybody's on the iPhone, and at school they're hearing about it. So if a child asks you what's going on, what happened, you have to think about how old is my child, how much does he already know before I say anything. For example, you would say to a child, nobody can ever make you taste something, touch something, smell something that you don't want.
But how do you, okay, that's true, but this is a teacher, a position of trust, and that gets really touchy.
But hear what I have to say about that. Maybe it happened and it's terrible, but it was different. So you tell me right away when something different happens at school. How many teachers have their children do taste tests, by the way? One child at that school reported that the teacher had locked the door, and she had never seen a teacher lock a door. She should have said to her mommy, you lock the door. And the mommy should have said to the administrators, who, by the way, perhaps need to listen more carefully to what children say. When a child comes to us and says something, we need to honor it. We need to pay attention to it so we get them to talk to us.
All right, now let's bring it to the parent who is at a school. Let's say the parent's like at Miramonte. But let's say we are a parents at a school where something has gone on. And the kids are talking about, did you hear what Mr. So-and-so did with Johnny?
Right.
Now, what do I say to my child?
Okay, is your child 7 years old? Then you would say, this is what I've heard. I heard that Mr. whomever put some blindfolds on children's eyes, put some tape on their mouths, and that wasn't okay, and made them taste something. You're not going to say to a 7-year-old, and put semen in his mouth.
No.
Not appropriate. But you may say to a 17-year-old something different.
What about where does that change? 10 years of age, 12 years of age, when the age of reason and the ability to tell them that this is of a sexual nature.
We're not going to
start
talking.
Into that.
I don't think you get into it before the age at which children feel a little more safe about it themselves. Certainly not before they know about things like nocturnal emissions.
Sure.
And 7, 8, and 9-year-olds don't.
No.
So it really depends on what the child's experience has been.
And the point's not to scare the child. The point's just to prepare the child, right? To give him to give them tools.
And you're making such an important point, because we prepare the child for the path, not the path for the child. We have to educate our kids and listen to them.
Great. Betsy Brown Braun, thank you so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
If you write it down, everybody, I hope you did.